Guys, I am like itching to do a video, a story time video. The house I lived in when I grew up, my parents still live in it now. There was two people that got murdered in that house, and the gentleman that murdered them, why am I saying gentleman like he's a good guy? The guy that murdered them died on death row in California when it was still a thing. So I'm dying to do like a story time, get ready with me on that. Like, I love true crime and stuff like that, and I think it would just be so cool to like tell you guys about like my life growing up there, and you know, the people, their relation to us. I'm dying to do one of those, and also a story time about a serial killer that came to my house. Like, no joke, that actually happened. He is a convicted serial killer. He is on death row currently in San Quentin in California. So yeah, let me know, leave a comment down below if you guys want to see one of those. Pick which one, or I can do both, so let me know. I'm really into stuff like that. So hello, happy Wednesday. I'm eating. It's Lent again. Yay, the time is here. If you're Catholic, you know what Lent is. If you're not, that's totally okay. Don't even worry about it. So, oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let me take a sip of my Diet Coke. I'm so happy. I ain't never had a Diet Coke in like a long time. I'm just kidding. I had one a couple days ago. You're right. Soda's not good for you. But I like to have one every once in a blue moon. I'm gonna pull up for you. I could explain it in my way, but I'll pull up for you what it is. Okay, so if you're not Catholic and you're wondering what Lent is, here's the actual definition. Lent is defined as a period of 40 days that Catholics observe from Ash Wednesday to Easter. Today is Ash Wednesday. Often marked by giving something up. An example of Lent is the time that you give up something like smoking for 40 days. Lent is a season of reflection and preparation before the celebrations of Easter. By observing the 40 days of Lent, Catholics replicate Jesus Christ's sacrifice and withdraw into the desert for 40 days. I won't go into like biblical, all that stuff, but you can read more about it if you're interested and you're not Catholic. But basically, I'm going to be giving up something for 40 days from today up until Easter. Basically, during these 40 days, we don't eat meat on Fridays. Fish is acceptable, but no meat. So today, as it's starting, we don't eat meat either. So I have on this cracker a tuna packet with dill, pickle, relish, a little bit of mayo, and a little bit of salt and pepper, and it is on a rice cake. I'm gonna show you guys these rice crackers. I adore them. Okay, these are called the Lundberg whole grain gluten-free brown rice thin stackers. They look like this. Okay, I like to eat these with a little bit of almond butter, or like today when I don't have any bread, I eat these on there. If you're wondering why I don't have any bread, it's because my fiance has celiac disease, so we really don't have, he has gluten-free bread, but I'm not a fan of it. I haven't bought bread in a long time. I probably should, because I've been craving some, but I've been really more into wraps and stuff. I change. Anyway, I wanted to come at you guys because I had made a video, I think it was 2 years ago, about what I was giving up for Lent. And whether or not you're Catholic or have a religion or believe in anything at all, I just like to, you know, say it, because somebody out there could be watching my video that has the same religion as me, and they're like, oh, what is she giving up? And, you know, just relatable in a way to some people. On this topic, though, I want to talk about my hair. I look like a Greek Orthodox. chick right now. Like, what is going on? Oh my god, my hair is always a hot mess express. I don't really do anything with it during the middle of the week. I don't like to put heat products on it. I'm trying to get it like healthiest it's ever been type situation. So yeah, a bitch is hungry. So there are people on YouTube. I don't know how many of you watch them, but there are a few channels that are very that are Christian-based channels that are very the way that they believe is like very by the book. Okay, I'm Catholic. I've been Catholic my whole life, but I don't necessarily abide by every rule, if I can say so. There's an amazing channel on here. I'll link her below. Her name is God is Gray, and she is amazing, and I agree with a lot of her viewpoints. You know, a lot of these really heavy Christian-based channels talk a lot about homosexuality and sex before marriage and all of that stuff. And, you know, I am a firm believer that you have to build a connection with somebody before you marry them, and that connection is in all aspects. You can be attracted to somebody emotionally. You can get along really well. You can laugh together. And maybe you're just not physically attracted to them. I specifically, you know, there's certain aspects that I don't believe with. I think it's certainly okay to live with somebody before you get married. As you know, as long as you're on the same page about how you want to move forward in life together, I think you should test it out. I think that not living with somebody before getting married is it makes the first year of your marriage very difficult, because on top of being a newlywed, you have to figure out how to deal with living with this other person after you've lived alone or with your parents your whole life. And it's very difficult. It is. My fiance and I are getting married in 66 days, and we've lived together for a year and a half now out of our 2-year relationship. So we got all the bad juju out, you know, like oh my gosh, you annoy me, why do you do this with your clothes, you leave the toilet seat up. Like the bickering about trying to figure out how to live together is over with. And that's not saying that I never wanted to live with him. It's just literally you go from taking care of yourself to now you have to take care of somebody else too. Not that he's a baby, I don't have to take care of him, but you know, I do the cooking, I do, you know, the laundry, and so you have to just find a good balance, and you have to figure it out. And so I strongly believe in living together before you get married, or at least staying together at certain points, you know. I don't think that's a bad thing. I completely support homosexuality. You love who you love. There is not 1 ounce in my body that is against that, and it really, really, really saddens me that there are Catholics and Christians out there that are so against it, you know. I think that you can fully have faith and accept everybody into your heart, because that's what Jesus would do. That's what he is there for. He's there for forgiveness. He's there for love. He's there for support, for guidance. So why would he turn away somebody who is willing to accept him into their heart just because they love somebody that's not ideal in the book, you know? And that's what I love so much about God is Gray, about her channel, is she is so, like, the way that she speaks about the meaning behind her God is Gray name is just, it's really awesome. You guys have to check her out if you're interested. I also watch a lot of Jacqueline Glenn's videos. Jacqueline Glenn is an atheist. She was a Catholic, turned atheist. I know what that's like. My brother is a non-believer himself, in anything, quite honestly. And I don't love him any less. If not, I love him more for believing in himself and not confining to something that made him feel uncomfortable, you know? And I don't think that anybody should be ashamed to believe what they believe. We're all different people. We all have our own personal opinions, you know? And just because I believe a certain way doesn't mean you have to. Just because I'm a Catholic doesn't mean my brother has to be a Catholic, you know? We're all our own people. And Jacqueline Glenn gives off a lot of insight, and she really does, like, her and God is Grace sat down together and had like a conversation, and she's very understanding. So for these other like Christians that speak very by the book and all the rules, and very much dislike people like Jacqueline Glenn, or not dislike, I just don't agree with people like Jacqueline Glenn. It amazes me because she is like so willing to sit down and have an educated conversation, which is the right thing to do. If you disagree with somebody, have an educated conversation. You don't have to end up believing what they believe or vice versa, but being able to have an educated conversation and come to maybe like an agree to disagree, or like, I understand where you're coming from, just to try and understand each other, like, that is great. You know, no yelling, no fighting, no like, you're stupid for believing what you believe, just an educated conversation. This is what I believe, this is why, this is what I believe, this is why, I understand where you're coming from. We can be friends. Like, what's wrong with that? So I really like Jacqueline Glenn. I do watch a lot of those videos, and that doesn't make me any less of a Catholic. It just means that I can accept, love, and understand people no matter what they believe, and support them in their journeys, you know? My mom, my dad, my fiance, I'm getting married in a Catholic church. I love my religion. I love God, but you know, my brother's an atheist. Doesn't mean anything. He never attacks me for how I feel, and I never attack him for how he feels. Because your beliefs don't define your relationships. They shouldn't. Bottom line. Anyway, I do have a problem with some of them, and it's sad because even when it comes to like birth control and stuff, and abortion's a really tough subject, so I'm not even going to start with that, but you can watch their videos if you want to, but you know, some of their stuff, it's just not okay to tell, you know, to be speaking to a young audience about stuff that's so not reckless, but just like, you know, you have to be careful, very careful. And it's 2020, you know, there's going to be people that love the same sex, and that's okay. There's going to be people that are going to get an abortion, and that's their choice. We may not support it, but it's their choice, and you have to, you know, you have to allow people to live their own lives. You know, this fighting because like somebody doesn't believe the same thing you do is ridiculous. And you know, it's crazy. You know, marriage is a serious thing. Being with somebody forever is a big deal. You have to know in every aspect that that person is your person, like you do. And so I think it's very reckless to be like, oh, you know, you have to wait to have, I don't know, I just wanted to say that there are a lot of channels on here, on YouTube, that I adore. I will link my favorites below. And then there are other channels that, for religion-based things, just, to me, aren't realistic. And, you know, I'm sure there's going to be Catholic haters or Catholic people that are like, you're being a terrible Catholic. But you know what? In my opinion, as long as I believe, as long as I pray, as long as I love God, that's doing enough for me. There's not anybody in this world that is perfect. So if you think I'm a shitty Catholic, that's fine. I could give two less. And yeah, so God is Great and Jacqueline Glenn, love them. I'll link them below. You guys can watch them if you're interested, if you're a religious person. They both put out really great content. God is Great is very informative, very educational. Jacqueline Glenn responds to a lot of these religious channels in a nice way, in an educated way. She's informative, and she never attacks. So she's not like a troll channel. She never attacks people. She really does it in a nice way. So I will link them below. Moving forward with my Lent situation, shopping. I'm not going to buy anything between now and Easter, and I'm going to put $200 away in my savings account every paycheck. That's a good one. It's a really good one to build my savings more than what it is. Oh God, I almost ripped my contact out. That was lovely. I gotta put eye drops in my eyes are really dry. Also, I wanted to give an update on my diet. I still have a lot of people that ask me, like, what I'm eating, how I lost the 30 pounds, and I just want to quickly touch. The diet that I did by no means is a bad diet. It is very strict, and I lost a good chunk of weight, and it helped me. I was not doing keto. I am not a keto warrior. I was eating low carb, but I was literally eating meat and veggies and a fat every once in a while, which would be like cottage cheese or yogurt. But I recently gave up dairy all in all, so basically it was just meat and veggies. That's it. Very clean, like very, very clean. I didn't snack. I was only eating 2 meals a day, but making sure I got in a good amount of calories in those 2 meals. So I wasn't like under eating, but I was very strict. And a couple weeks ago, I noticed myself being over obsessive, and not in a good way about food. And it kind of took me back to my high school days. I don't think I've ever talked anything about this, but in high school I did suffer from anorexia, and I would pair that with orthorexia too. I was very, very, very careful about what I put in my mouth, and I would eat dinner every night, but it was like very little, the typical move it around on the plate. I was very thin. I had a lot of jaw problems, so the pain of my jaw when I chewed made it easier to not eat, and I was extremely thin, very thin, and I obsessed about food, what I was eating, what it was like, and if I ate too much of one thing, I wouldn't eat anything else, or my calories were very, very low. So while the diet helped me lose the 30 pounds, a good chunk of weight, which is a great chunk of weight, recently I felt myself getting very obsessed over the scale, obsessed about my calories. If I ate too much, I would like flip out, have an anxiety attack. It's not healthy, you know what I mean? And like 2 meals a day, I was crying at night because like I didn't want to veer off of this, and this diet said if you can't eat past 6:30, and if you're going to, just like skip it. And I don't agree with that, because I don't think it's healthy to starve yourself when you're hungry. And I would cry at night because I'd make my fiance dinner and he'd be eating, and I'd just be standing there staring at him because like I had eaten my meal earlier and it wasn't dinner. I wasn't supposed to be, eating more than 2 meals a day, and it just like I was getting all my calories in, but I had felt myself becoming really obsessed, and I don't want to do that. I want to enjoy my journey. I want to love myself at every aspect of it, and I don't want to be so obsessed that I can't have a good time. So I have changed drastically, not like what I'm eating typically, because I was eating good stuff. Meat and veggies is great for you, but I've introduced more carbs in, like these brown rice thin stackers are have carbs in them, but it's not bad carbs. The ingredients is just organic brown rice and sea salt. 22 grams or 24 grams total of carbs if you minus the fiber. If you're like a keto person or you do like the net carb thing, it'd be 22, but not a big deal. For 4 cakes. I only ate 3 because that's only how much tuna I had. I got full after 3 on like big heapings of tuna, but that's not bad. And I don't think we should be afraid of carbs. And I wasn't afraid of carbs. I was just being super strict with myself, like I said, because I have a goal. But being so strict with myself led to me being obsessed, and I don't want to do that. I think it's important to be healthy. I think it's important to encourage young people that you don't have to stop eating the things you love to lose weight. You just have to eat better things. Cut down on your portion sizes a little bit. Make sure you're still eating 3 good meals a day, or 3 good meals a day, and you'll be fine. The obsession has to stop. And so I'm changing my diet a little bit. I'll update with another like what I eat in a day if anybody wants to see that. But I'm not going to obsess as much. I'm going to enjoy the process, work out, and let myself live a little, because I've come a long way from where I was, and I'm proud of myself. But I want to keep going up. I don't want to go down. So that's where I'm at diet-wise. Adding in some, better carbs, good carbs, not bad carbs. And I mean, I still haven't really been snacking or anything like that. So the diet I did was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good. It taught me a lot of things. It taught me discipline. It helped me stop snacking. It helped me do all of that stuff. But like I said, I was getting obsessed, and I don't want to do that. I want to be happy and live my life. Not that I'm not happy, but you can easily fall back into old habits, and it's important when you recognize that you're taking a step backwards to make some changes. I think that's important, and I think there's nothing wrong with making some changes in your life when it comes to things like diets. If something's not working, switch it up. Change it. You are the, star of your own show. So that's important. Anyway, I think that's it for now. I think that's all I had to update about. Thank you guys for watching my little update. I hope it gave you some insight. I'm going to leave links to Jacqueline and God is Gray down below, and then I'll keep you updated with a new what I eat in a day. But yeah, just a little update. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in my next video. It's going to be, hint, hint, me testing out Jacqueline Hill's makeup palette. Woohoo! Happy Wednesday. Enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.